NOSA community. I'm back. It is June. I don't think I've done a Facebook Live in June as of yet, but I just listened to such an amazing presentation that I wanted to share. So one, it is on YouTube. I will drop the YouTube link here for you guys to check it out if you haven't gotten a chance. It was around nurse staffing agencies and some of the legislation. And I know, I want to say in the winter we talked about what was like happening in real time, but for those of you guys who don't know, it's still happening. I believe for most states, and I'm not exactly sure, the legislation session is closing or coming to a close. So all this stuff will probably come back into play as we go into the fall, like after the summer. So I did drop California because I learned on this particular YouTube that California had some legislation as well as Colorado. So those weren't one of the states that we had included. But he goes through all of the states that had pending legislation this past year. So if you're in that state, hey. And today I'm just jumping in because I really enjoyed the session that he had. So I'm just getting to that information. Like I said, I'm going to drop the YouTube for you guys to check it out. It's a lot of great information. It's just not about what's happening in healthcare staffing. It talked about the nurse, it talked nurse staffing, the nurse side of staffing. It also touched a little bit on the some of the rumors around federal legislation and things like that. So he gave a great picture as to what's going on, kind of what to be mindful of, and what to kind of think about in the future. So with that being said, okay, here, I'm gonna go ahead and link it here for you guys. Let's see, because the live just finished up. They haven't posted it yet, but I will post it into the group, into this particular post. So one of the reasons I was excited about it was because it's been a while since I listened to a video. So I don't know about you guys, but I do work and listen to YouTubes and lives and seminars and webinars. And I think that was one of the best takeaways from COVID, is that yes, in person is great. I do enjoy it, but to be able to multitask and kind of get a little bit of work done along with being able to do it at your home in the comfort of your own home and still kind of get the effect was really nice. So I still do that. I've shared some of the ones from SCORE and Small Business Administration. This one was hosted by the Gypsy Nurse with a member of the American Staffing Association. So those are always great resources, and they're usually free. So anything that I typically share into the group about that is usually free. So with that being said, I encourage people to really kind of loop in as we go into the second half of 2022 and take some and create more involvement in the political process in your respective states, because some of the things that happened earlier this year will continue. And I'm a true believer of create the problem, create the solution. So that's really what we're seeing happen with the quote unquote price gouging of staffing agencies that initially went around, the capping of travel nurse pay, which of course is just really indicative of a bigger issue. The nursing shortage, not enough nurses going to school, so on and so forth. So we're not here to talk about that, but check out that video. I'm going to share the link just in case they don't post it. They may post it at another location, so I'm going to share the link. A couple other things. So this, it's on this side. This, NOSACon Atlanta, August 19th through 21st. So there's been a lot of questions about it. Registration has closed. So we closed registration in May. We reopened it, and we have officially closed registration. We are thinking about, and we'll probably do a poll in the group sometime soon, maybe doing a smaller scale event on the West Coast, since I know we have quite a few West Coast NOSAs. So as we kind of work through and figure out if it's feasible, we'll share with you guys. But at this point, it is closed. We're having a little bit over 100 attendees. to NOSACon in Atlanta, and I'm excited about it. I'm really excited to meet everybody in person, and I'm sure you guys are excited to put a name to the face, right? You see me here, you see me there. So to kind of connect all the dots, as well as get a chance to get some information, networking. Our industry is changing every day. Every day it's something new. And being prepared to kind of weather the storm of the second half of 2022 is really part of the purpose of doing NOSACon this year. And, you know, in light of being prepared for what the rest of the year will have, I hope you guys are, because I am, planning for 2023. I usually plan between now and fourth quarter of that year what 2023 is going to look like, and I encourage you to really get as detailed as possible, and that helps you, that helps me really kind of get closer to where you want to be in that particular year. And your whole purpose may be, you know, financial, it could be organizational, it could be foundational, whatever you're trying to make that year be about. Now is the time to really plan for that. As always, I also want to welcome our new members. Welcome to the NOSA community, and I encourage you guys as well, because we do have quite a few new members who are travel nurses, to check out this video I'm going to link as well, because he does answer some of the myths in the industry. You know, just kind of being prepared. You know, once COVID kind of subsided, we saw a lot of lowering of pay packages, a lot of cancellation of contracts. So if you're either a NOSA, interested in being a NOSA, a travel nurse, or just a person as a part of our community, I encourage you to check out that video, because that video, it was maybe about 60 minutes. He did it live, so well, a couple of people got a chance to ask some questions. I didn't answer any questions, but he definitely honed in on what we've seen over the last 2 years in the industry as a whole, not just from the agency perspective. So I encourage you to check it out. Welcome. A couple of tips for you in joining our amazing group. I would say these are a couple of things that you want to think about when getting your biggest bang for your experience here at the NOSA group. One, introduce yourself. That's always a great way to connect with people. Like I said, we are nationwide. Oh, I always pick the wrong side. So those two dots indicate where I am, where the conference is going to be, and then New Mexico fell off a little bit earlier, but we are going to have so many states represented during our conference, and we have pretty much a nationwide group as a whole. There's a lot of subgroups within our group around accountability, marketing, getting your first contract, employee development, recruitment, social media. So definitely join any of those as well. Check out our search bar, check out the topics bar. Those are all great places to see questions that are asked. There is already a tremendous amount of information under features and files. For those who are interested in getting started, we have a getting started guide in there. We also have information if you're interested in doing vendor management systems. We have marketing information. So there's already a plethora of information available. You really don't have to search as much as just check out files. So we actually do put stuff into our files that post into the group. The other thing is, when you want to ask a question, if you see it as a question that's been previously asked, commenting under that question is a better option than creating a new question. Example, what types of insurance do you use for workers' comp or professional general liability? That question has already been asked many times. At least for the professional general liability, it doesn't change that much. It may vary the most under your workers' comp. If you go to features, there's a poll there that lists out the companies people are using, and then under the comments, if people ask follow-up questions about it, it's there as well. We're working as we go into the summer on, creating a more consolidated Google Doc for some of that information. So once we have it, we'll definitely share it. The other thing is, if you're not following us on social media, please feel free to do so. Feel free to do so, because I do a lot of things here in the group. But if you just kind of want snippets or information about what's happening in that moment within the group, that's where I share it on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're also on TikTok, YouTube, where I share some of my videos that I do here and within some other events that I've done. So there's always places to get information, which is kind of the goal and purpose behind our group, which is information sharing. And then the last thing is we're here to share information. So I understand that some people want to talk with individuals, but please make sure that if you're asking a question and a person responds with DM, please encourage them to share the information, because that's the purpose of the group. So as we go into June, we want to streamline some of the use of DM me, DM me, DM me, because we want the information shared so that everybody in the group can benefit. That's part of the goals of the group. That's under the rules within the group, is the sharing of information. So think about that. And then finally, if you check out events in the group, there'll be a list of some of the upcoming events that are happening throughout the summer. So definitely click going, attend, engage, ask questions. The presenters are talking about information and questions around what we've talked about in the group for the last several years. So I encourage you to come. If you can attend, ask your questions in the comment box under that particular event, and we'll ask it for you during that session. So as always, if you have a question, or even if you want to present, I've shared this with the group many times. If you want to present in the group or present via a Zoom, or if you want to hang out with me on Facebook Live, reach out to me directly and we can talk about it to kind of see what it is that you're trying to do and if it's a good fit. Getting your information out there is important. So if you want to share, and then the last two things I have is moving forward in the group, we won't be posting any more jobs. We created, I want to say a year ago, a job network that's, I think it's about 1,200 people in it, agencies and applicants that are looking. So if you want to post a job, post it in the NOSA job network. And that's the place that will allow posting moving forward. We will not allow any more posts to drop into the actual group, because it creates too much information falling into the group that's not applicable. As well, if you're a nurse, healthcare professional, go there as well, because that's where all the job postings are for NOSAs. And feel free to share it with friends or anyone else. Like I said, it's about 1,000 members at this time. We're still growing. So if you have questions around jobs or looking for jobs or want to support a fellow NOSA, here's the place to go to look for job opportunities. Like I said, I'll drop it in the group as well so that people will know. And I think finally, as we prepare to get things finalized for NOSACon in August, I encourage you guys to really think about where else you guys are going to go for a conference or seminar or session. So a couple of places that we'll be hanging out is we will be at TravCon in September 18th through the 20th. So we will be there. I know there's quite a few other NOSAs that will be in attendance as well, or NOSA members who will be there as well. So we'll definitely be thankfully coming around and showing our support. Some of the healthcare partners will be there as well, so that's a great time to meet them. I think we will be hosting an event, and more details will come out probably in July about that if you're going to come out. And then the other thing is, in October, we will also be at the American Staffing Association, and I'm going to drop that here for you guys. Conference, which will also be in Vegas. So we'll just be hanging out in Vegas in the fall. and I'm gonna look up the date. So we will be at TravCon. Attended. We will be at TravCon, and I think the tickets are still on sale. We'll be at the American Staffing Association. I believe it's also referred to as Staffing World. And let me get it. Give me a second, guys. In October, and then the last event will be SIA, so the Staffing Industry Analysts, in November. Oh, it didn't go through. Okay, let's try it one more time. Okay. And that's where we'll be hanging out. I think all of those conferences have different things happening. So I would definitely encourage you to check it out, at least see if it's something that you may be interested in. I know a lot of NOSAs attend. A lot of NOSAs attend the first two that I listed, TravCon and Staffing World. But, you know, check it out, see what your schedule looks like. Definitely consider it. I will say it's all different audiences, so it's kind of purposed differently. So I will put a poll up in the group for you guys, so that if you want to kind of find out if it's a right fit and you want to talk with someone who's been, you can connect with some people. So I'll put a poll up for NOSA members who have attended all of these conferences, just so you can have someone to talk with if you wanted to get more information about them, to see if they'll be a good fit for you to attend. As always, thank you guys. Thank you for supporting our community. And as we grow, we've grown to 6,200 members, I believe, at this point, maybe a little bit more, and we're still growing. So part of our growth and part of our ability to even host NOSACon is our community's commitment to showing up. So if you have any questions, or if you want to connect with me offline, you can always message me. I am on Facebook probably every day. Any other NOSAs out here who is on Facebook with me every day? I am probably the most active member of the group, but we do have some awesome moderators that help me do my job. And if you have any topics or ideas that you want to be shared in the group, feel free to reach out as well. As always, thank you again, and you have a wonderful Wednesday. Like I mentioned before, I am going to post in the group those 3 conferences that I mentioned, and allow people to comment or share if they've attended, for those who might be interested but just want to get some more information about if it's going to be a good fit. All right, have a good one.